Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Today, I'm going to show you two charts that are leading indicators for the Bitcoin price. You don't hear a lot of people talking about these, but these are absolutely the best thing you will possibly find in order to determine Bitcoin's macro moves. You can use them on the lower time frames, but I recommend sticking to the higher time frames, or you're going to catch the huge moves on Bitcoin before they unfold. Let's take a look at how this works. I have my big chart here sectioned into thirds. I'm going to show you what each one of these is, so go ahead and screenshot these or pause the video and write them down so you can add them to your chart. You're going to want these, trust me. The first one is the volatility of the S&P 500 or the VIX, V-I-X. That's all you type into your symbol search and it'll pull up and you add that, okay? The next one you're going to want to screenshot or write down. It's a little longer ticker. It is the cryptocurrency market capitalization of USDC plus USDT. Okay, so you're going to want to write that down. Just type that into your browser there, press enter, and it's going to pop the chart up automatically. Once you have those two in the chart, you want to mark out these levels. For the VIX, you're going to mark out 25. Above that is panic or major correction. You're also going to mark out 20. Above that is fear or dump, okay? And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, on the USDT chart, you're going to mark out 8%. Above 8% is bad for crypto, okay? And we're going to show you how this applies to the Bitcoin chart. I'm looking at all three of these charts on the weekly time frame. Now, you don't have to be above 8% or above 20% for this to be bad, for crypto to be headed down. You just have to be headed up towards them, and I'm going to show you, okay? So on this big spike up here on the VIX, let me mark that out for you, okay? You got the spike up on the VIX right there. I'll mark that in orange, and you can see as I'm tracing my chart to the left with the vertical dotted line, you can see where it lines up with the chart in the middle and the chart on the right, okay? So let's mark out where it was on the USDT chart, okay? Right there at the top of that candle, okay? And let's mark out the Bitcoin chart also when we're right there. Bitcoin was way down here at the bottom, okay? So what this means is when the VIX and the USDT chart started heading down, okay? So they were going down means bullish for crypto. Bitcoin was down here, and as they started to move down, Bitcoin started its move up. Okay, this works inversely as well. You can see even on this latest move for Bitcoin, this latest dump from the all-time high, you can see that right down here. You see you were below 20, but you were headed up. Okay, when you're headed up, anytime you're headed up, that's bearish for crypto. So you're down here, right down here, okay, you're right down here on the USDT chart. That is this area right up here for Bitcoin, and same thing here. You're here on the VIX, and as soon as the VIX starts headed up, USDT starts headed up, and you can trace my cursor to see that now that I'm over here on Bitcoin, you can see it hovering over those areas on VIX and USDT. Bitcoin started this big 30% move to the downside, okay? So by understanding these charts here and what their next move is, which they give you the signal first, you can then plan your Bitcoin trades accordingly. Now, let's go take a look and see how that translates when we are using our Cypher programs, because you can apply Cypher to all of these. Let me just clear it up a little bit. All right, so I have Cypher on each one of these, and it works the exact same for these two charts as it does for the Bitcoin chart. Now, the one thing you kind of want to ignore on the VIX is the money flow in the red. The entire history of Bitcoin, the money flow has been in the red, and it has never come into the green, at least on the weekly time frame. So just ignore that. It's always down here. It's always going to stay down here, but the momentum waves and the dots work exactly the same, as does the divergences, okay? So let's look at the weekly time frame here. As we came into this latest move down, and you can back test this all you want, as we came into this latest move down for Bitcoin, you came down in the VIX and you created some bullish divergence. Remember, bullish for VIX, bearish for Bitcoin, okay? Created some bearish divergence, and right here you got the green dot. You got the old green dot right here, right? Green dot means the VIX on the weekly time frame is about to be headed up, okay? At the same time, over here on Bitcoin, you were getting bearish divergence, right? You're getting bearish divergence here. Bitcoin is creating those higher highs, in price and lower highs in momentum, right? So you get the weekly green dot. VIX starts headed up. At the same time, you get the weekly green dot here on the USDT chart. And what happens? Sure enough, you get the weekly red dot right here for Bitcoin, which sends you down. So bearish divergence on the VIX played out. Bullish divergence on the VIX played out. Bearish divergence on Bitcoin played out. But you didn't have to second guess yourself. You didn't have to wonder if this was the time. Bitcoin showed some bearish divergence, but could it go up anymore? I got a red dot. Is that red dot going to play out? All you had to do was flip over to the USDT chart that we have and the VIX. And if those things are showing bullish signals, then you can bet your bottom dollar that Bitcoin's bearish signals are absolutely going to play out. So these are leading indicators. And again, go back and back test this. You can see how this is worked out countless times in the Bitcoin history. We're not going to go through all of them, but just take my word for it and go back test it for yourself. Same thing even right here with this. This looks like a little move on Bitcoin, but it's really not right here from the top to the bottom here. That is a 34% dump for Bitcoin in this section right here, right? And what was happening right there, you could see if you trace my cursor back here, this is when you got the move up on USDT. And what happened right there on the VIX, sure enough, big move up. So big move up in VIX, big move up in USDT, 33% move down in Bitcoin. So you will definitely want to add these to your chart, use them on the macro scale to catch these big 20, 30% Bitcoin moves before they even happen. So if you appreciate content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, join the Discord below, or go to anthonyleecrypto.com. We would love to have you in our VIP Discord there. And other than that, we'll continue to push out content just like this and bring you the best things that no one else tells you about. I will see you next time.